Hello, you guys. You know what? I'm really stoked to chat with you today. And I really want you to lean into this because if you're hanging out with me here, it's because you are interested in health, you are interested in mindset. And today we're going to bring it all together because this was a really big learning that I've had in the last couple of years. And it's been something that I've been digging into, but I never really um, got it until the last couple years. Okay. That is the concept of how, and we talk about this all the time, how our body is a manifestation of our mind. Okay. So if we truly believe and know that our body is a manifestation of our mind, that means that we can kind of begin to wrap our heads around the fact that um, everything like really we bring things into our body and we can get rid of them at the same time, right? So today I want to talk about your body, about your health, and more about the amazing and very orderly universe that you live in. So what does the universe have to do with you as an individual? Okay. And we and I mean I Western medicine, like working in Western medicine, and we talk a lot about disease and disease management. And we're not going to say the word disease today like that. We're going to call it dis slash hyphen ease, the opposite of being at ease. And my mentor, Bob Proctor, he says disease cannot live in a body that is in a healthy emotional state. I'm going to repeat that. Disease cannot live in a body that is in a healthy emotional state. Think about what affects your health: your genes, your environment, the food we eat, the amount of movement we introduce to our body, our toxic load, our sleep quality, the amount of stress we have in our lives, right? Yes, 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 and yes. All of them. It's a lifestyle, right? We talk about that a lot here. But each of these things plays a role in how your body is. But there's something else that plays an even bigger role. And this is what I've really been leaning into. Okay? And that is, the fact that our bodies are just doing what is in our minds. Okay? There's something much bigger happening here. And if you can truly wrap your head around this, it may actually save your life. So perhaps you've heard that thought or perception causes every problem that we have, right? We are the source of everything, and we can support anything too, right? Everything's a reflection. And maybe that idea in itself has more foundation than most people would ever kind of believe. Your body isn't controlled the way you think it is. The human body is an instrument of the mind. It will do whatever the mind tells it to do, whether the thoughts are deliberately chosen and intentionally, or whether they are habitual and automatic. So thinking negative thoughts or making unhealthy choices hurt our body and can eventually cause us to get really sick. However, since the mind is the master, if sick thinking will cause the body to break down, wouldn't it make sense that healthy thinking will cause the body to grow strong? Does that make sense? Especially when you actually consider that your body constantly recreates itself, constantly. You actually are creating new cells just as we're talking here. Your liver and all those like not so sexy organs are like going to work for you right now, and you're not even thinking about it. And they are reproducing themselves. The body you're living in today is not the same body that you're going to be living in a year from now. Fact. We know this. Science tells us this. It's highly studied. Get it in on the Google machine. Okay? You can cast off diseased cells and create new healthy cells. That is a fact. Unfortunately, most people think the same or ish, the same ish thoughts day after day after day, year after year. So they cast off diseased cells only to create more of the same. Does that make sense? Can you see how that might be showing up in your life or somebody else's life? When you've seen me make a shift in how I'm educating you, I want you to really understand that up until the last year, this was something that I was inadvertently teaching people. And I can give you so many awesome people that they're proof on how we can heal ourselves. So now you see me getting more intentional because we know this to be true, that our thoughts are creating what is in our body. And we know that we are recreating our body, right? Our body is a mass amount of molecules moving at a high vibration. That's what we are, a big meat stick. Okay? And our thoughts put us into action. Sometimes action gets the results we want. Sometimes it doesn't. Either way, it's mostly habitual. But we as a species are not like others. Nature designed the cells in most organisms to adapt to their environment. So their cells are directly reading the environment that they're in, and then they adjust their genetics accordingly. Survival of the fittest. This allows the cells to stay alive in like crazy climates and fight or flight mode constantly, right? We are not designed for that. Human cells do not read the environment. Instead, our nervous system reads the environment and then interprets it and signals out to our cells. That's how we are designed. So it's not always our environment that controls our cells. It's our perception of the environment. So I teach you a lot about reducing your toxic load, paying it, like getting rid of all the like chemicals and the crap that you're putting on your skin and in your systems. Yes, that is genetically modifying us, which has an impact on us. However, what is even can be true, and this is where you see the nature and nurture. You have two people raised in the exact same environment, and both have completely different perceptions of what that environment actually was. It's not always your environment that controls your cells. It is our perception of the environment. And what this perception does is it creates your reality. And again, you and somebody else could have you and your siblings raised in the exact same environment, two completely different perceptions. And now you talk about it as adults and understand how those realities shaped you. But they were different because they were based on your own perception. Sometimes your reality, and this, again, how you do one thing is how you do all things, whether it's in your health, your finances, your relationships. It's not what you want it to be. It's not ideal. And you start asking yourself, what can I do about this? Take a moment and really think, what is perception? Perception is your point of view. You could be talking with someone. If I said, yeah, is there anything on the other side of this bottle? You're saying, no, Dylan, there isn't. There's no words. I'm seeing different, right? My perception is different. We could be arguing around nothing. And we do this all the time as humans. Like some of the biggest grudges that you might be holding or someone might be holding of you was all based on perception, which is unfortunate, right? Your perception is your point of view. It's how you interpret the world. It's how you see things. And understand that as humans, we think in pictures. We see images in our mind constantly. If I said the word front door, you're going to go to your front door. You're going to picture it. If I said your vehicle, you go to your vehicle. What color is the interior of your vehicle? You went there. Like we think in pictures. So when you perceive something, it creates an image in your mind. And that image then sets up your vibration. So on a conscious level, we refer to vibration as feeling. That's what as humans call the vibration that we're in. If I'm sad or mad, I'm in a low vibration. If I'm happy, if I'm excited, I'm in a higher vibration, okay? Feeling is something we created as humans, okay? If you change your perception, you change the image in your mind. And that then changes the vibration and how you feel. Make sense? So our perception is based on our beliefs, which are all stemming from, right? We know that we develop our beliefs, our paradigm, when we're super young. They were ideas that were bestowed upon us. We didn't choose them. Okay? You can change them, but you didn't get your initial ones. Not likely the ones that you've been working with your entire life. And they affect every single area of your life. They are controlling you 98% of the time. Even if you don't think they are. Okay? Beliefs have the power to create and the power to destroy. They allow us to take any experience in our lives and create a meaning that disempowers us or one that can legit save our lives. The problem is that most of us accept our beliefs without taking the time to really uncover and analyze them. We just accept them as truth when really they're not true at all. And then we base our lives on them, which is why a lot of people are living in lack, limitation, poverty, because they've accepted that as truth. Because they were told money doesn't grow on trees. And they're like, oh, I guess it doesn't grow on trees. I guess it's really hard to make it. When it's not. It doesn't have to be that way. Oh, I was born with these genes. I guess my body has to be this way. No, it doesn't. You are creating new cells all the time. It does not have to be that way. So really take time. This is where, do you want to dive in, lean into this and really evaluate some of the beliefs that you have about your health? Ask yourself, why do I believe this? Where did this belief come from? Why do I believe that I can't alter my health? Where is there even merit or foundation to this belief? And every single one of your beliefs that pop up, I want you to ask yourself, does this grow me or does it disintegrate me? Because that is our law as humans. We are here to create or disintegrate. You are either doing one or the other. And when you do that, you're likely to find that many of your beliefs are just absolute nonsense. And some are actually destroying you. And when you discover beliefs that have no foundation and do not serve you, this is where, when we've talked about decision, you get to draw a line in the sand and say enough is enough and change them. And when you do, you change your world. So I want you to take the results that you're getting And I want you to look at them like really clearly, as negative as some of them are. And I want you to write them out in detail and ask yourself, what would the polar opposite of this be? What would the opposite be? Law of opposite says everything has an opposite: up, down, left, right, hot, cold, right? What's the opposite of what you want? Because this is an inside out job. And that is a fact. And as a society, we spend so much time putting shit in our body and in Botoxing and, doing all the things to make it look different. What if you believed that when you healed your belief system, that you actually healed your body? And I've shown this little guy before, right? We have a conscious mind, a subconscious mind in our body. Okay, our conscious mind, just a little run through. This is where our five senses kick in. What we see, hear, smell, taste, and touch. When we keep going back to school, taking another course, it's going into the conscious mind. But the conscious mind controls us 2 to 4% of the time. This is the money. This is where it is. This is our subconscious mind. This is our paradigm. This is our habitual thinking. And it's controlling us 96 to 98% of the time. And it is controlling your body, which is why you're like, but I read that book on nutrition, yet I ate like shit. And now I don't look like a Greek goddess. Darn. But I knew how to eat, but I didn't do it. Or I knew that I was supposed to be moving my body, but I didn't do it. I knew that I was supposed to be thinking positive thoughts, but I didn't do it. Right? This is how we think. Does that sound familiar? Okay. And all of this, you can see my positive and negative here. Okay. All the positive, this is where it starts, and you get to choose. This is decision. If you live over here, this is where knowledge hangs out. This is where ignorance hangs out. And a lot of humanity, ignorant. They're following on social media that top 1%. Oh my God, I want to be like them. Elon Musk, I love you. Yet they're completely ignorant to what actually Elon Musk is doing. They just see Tesla. They see his other great idea. No, right? They see super healthy people and think, oh, they don't have the genes that I have. Well, you know what? They're made from the exact same energy you are, and their cells are recreating themselves every day too. So it works. We're all made from the same stuff. But if you're hanging out here, you have ignorance on this upper level, you are going to have worry and doubt on the conscious mind, which this turns into a feeling, right? Fear in the subconscious mind. And how it's going to show up in the body, anxiety. And we never express anxiety. We suppress it, which turns into depression, which in turn turns into dis-ease, which then turns into disintegration. Talk to somebody that has anxiety. Talk to somebody who has full-blown depression. Ask them how their body feels. Do you see them creating, or do you see them disintegrating? Really, like this is no joke. This is real. What would happen? And I have clients that have done this, completely decided, said, screw it, I'm done. I feel like garbage. I'm done feeling this way. And they hopped on over here. And instead of worry and doubt, through study, they had understanding. And instead of fear, they had faith. Faith in knowing that they have everything they need in order to get it done. And some of them have huge goals, like they're going to take over the world. And some of them are just awesome goals of functioning without medication every day. That's their goal. I will have a medication-free existence. I will not have been on antidepressants long enough. And they're getting there. Because what happens When you're hanging out over here and your anxiety, which is suppressed and turns into depression, which turns into dis-ease, the opposite of that is well-being. When you have faith, like true faith and knowing that you got this in your subconscious mind, it turns into well-being, which is always expressed. When someone's feeling awesome, you say, hey, how are you? And they're like, I feel awesome. I feel awesome. They are expressing themselves. They're not like, yeah, it's okay. They're expressing themselves. They're expressing their well-being. You can feel it because we're all energy feeding off of each other. You can feel it coming off of them. You know those people, right? You know those people. And instead of depression, because they're not suppressing anxiety, it's turning into acceleration. And Jesus, they're getting everything. Everything seems to work out for them, doesn't it? They seem to get everything they want. They look great in their body. They got the hot husband. They've got like the great job. They've got all the money. Their relationships look really good. And they keep coming up with all these ideas. Why do they keep giving these ideas? Well, it's because they don't have my story. They have your exact same friggin' story. The exact same one. It might look different. They have the exact same story. And again, we see this all the time. You look at people like Oprah. Comes on paper, man, that woman should be hanging out over here. Like trauma galore. Trauma, like had a stillborn at 14. A Black woman raised in a time when that wasn't really looked highly upon. And she was a woman, which was also not looked highly upon. And now she's Oprah. She is at ease with herself. And we see it all the time. Her paradigm kicks in all the time, right? But she keeps hanging out over here. She chooses to hang it over here. When on paper, she could totally be anxiety, suppressed into depression, disease, disintegration. But instead, she's well, expressing that, accelerating into further awesomeness and total at ease, which leads to creation, right? Disintegrate or create. You get to choose. But you will either have dis-ease or you will have at ease. And just because you might be living in dis-ease right now in your body, because you are recreating all the time, if you have faith and knowledge in that, I mean, it's science. If you're like I don't know about this whole faith thing. This is really, I don't know, still in like pushing Jesus on me now. No, I'm telling you, this is real. Universal laws are real. You live in a very orderly universe. Own that, know it, understand it. And like the fear goes. Fear can't live there. It cannot live in that space. Could you imagine what it would be like if you took action on every awesome thought that you had because you didn't have fear of what other people were going to think? You didn't have fear that you were going to fail? Could you imagine if Elon Musk gave into that? If Oprah gave into that? They wouldn't be where they are right now. I can tell you that for damn sure. You have such a really cool opportunity purely because you were born a human. A human in this century, where because of the internet, you can literally do anything from anywhere, anything you want. Doesn't matter. But this is an inside job. If you don't like your circumstance, you have to change it. You can rewrite your health and your circumstances at any time that you choose. Your body is created to do this. Your body's legit designed to recreate constantly. And it's happening every day. Just in the last 20 minutes that we've been talking, it's been happening. I have literally altered the course of my life forever by studying this material. I can't go back. I can't. And if I ever find myself in that negative polarity, I have all the tools to flip it over. It's awesome. But success is a habit, and success leaves clues. Health is a habit. Dis-ease is a habit. But you can create a new habit just through repetition. When you reprogram your mind, even if you initially think, like, this is ridiculous, I'm lying to myself, who am I kidding? You think, I don't know, I don't think I can cure myself, or that you're going to get any better. If you tell yourself that lie often enough, you will eventually believe it. Either way, you're telling yourself stories. What would it look like if you told yourself stories of what you actually wanted? You're going to start to believe it. Eventually, it takes time. All that crap got into your subconscious over repetition, and it's going to get out of there through the same thing. Because you live in this crazy, awesome system. You've got this ingenious system built within you that can keep your body in immaculate working condition. Right? If I cut myself shaving, it's not good. That cut doesn't stay there forever. My body heals itself. Right? You just got to give it a chance. The body will automatically go into healing mode. I will create new cells around that cut. That's because there's a system inside of me, the same system that's inside of you that causes your body to stay in a certain vibration, a healing vibration. But if you start to suppress those negative thoughts, those negative feelings, it knocks your system completely out of whack. And those feelings must be expressed somehow. And they'll express themselves in false growths. A lot of the cancer is a diseased cell, right? And we have an abundance. That's our epidemic right now. Truly. And so much of it is lifestyle. But you've got lots of awesome people that are leading the way. You've Louise Hay, brilliant, right? Like, she expresses herself very well. She healed herself. And I know lots of people that are doing it right now. But awareness is the name of the game. Most people just hope to get better. You've got to believe you're going to get better. You've got to know it. Belief comes from knowledge. Remember, that's what happens over here. Ignorance, knowledge. And that's what will build the faith. And that power will alter the course of your health and inside of you. And it comes with understanding the laws of the universe, understanding the relationship between the mind and the body. Understanding is what causes illness. Like, understand what causes it. What causes dis-ease? Well, I just told you. But the answer is not a cream that you put topically on your skin. There's lots of things that you can do. I can give you some oils that absolutely can alter your emotional state, but that's still not the root cause. The root cause, you need to get into that. And it all starts with your subconscious. There's a quote by Edgar Cayce, and he says, healing of the physical without the change of the mental and spiritual aspects brings little real help to the individual in the end. How true, because the mind and the body imprint and imitate each other. What we think, we become. What we become, we think. It's an insidious process that can predispose us to illness, and it can lead us to health. You can heal yourself. There's no doubt about it. Don't let anyone tell you you can't. Ever. The best thing you can do is even go practice with someone. Find yourself a holistic doctor, a holistic, even MD. They exist, I promise you. Someone that is looking to heal the body, but also the mental and the spiritual aspects of it. If you are working with one but need the other, call me. Mental, spiritual, healing, awareness, awakening is what I do. It's what I do. And I will absolutely coach you through it. Because you deserve to have the health and the results in your life that you desire. No more settling. No more accepting it as your truth, because your body is so smart. So freaking smart. And you can create anything that you want. Anything. Deep, right? So deep. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I hope you see the shift. I hope you see the link between your mind and your body, because it is real. And you can decide at any point to switch on over. And I'm telling you, when you switch over to that positive polarity, it doesn't just show up in your health. It shows up everywhere. It shows up in your work. It shows up in your relationships. It shows up in your bank account. It shows up everywhere. And once you're aware, once you're awake, you can't go back. You can't. It's impossible. Thank you. Thank you. Have an awesome day.